Next up at UFC 269, we have the featured prelim. We have Josh Emmett versus Dan Ige. Josh Emmett, 16-2 overall, 4-1 in his last five, coming off of a year-long layoff. Dan Ige, 15-4. He's 3-2 in his last five, coming off that loss to the Korean Zombie. Josh Emmett is a wrestler. He's got legit power in his hands. So much so that if you dig into his fights, you will see that he has a knockdown in his last six fights. So in every single one of his last six fights, he has knocked his opponent down, including the loss to Jeremy Stephens. He's another guy like Brendan Allen, though, where we've seen him fall in love with his hands and just sort of abandon his wrestling roots so that he can strike. And we see that a lot with wrestlers, right? They have some power in their hands. They fall in love with it. Then they stick with that. Didn't work out for Phil Hawes. Didn't work out for Brendan Allen. But I don't think Dan Ige has that same insane power that we've seen Chris Curtis have. Back on task. Dan Ige is the real deal. He has fantastic kickboxing with speed and power, as well as takedowns and jiu-jitsu. He's exactly what modern mixed martial artists should be. He's good everywhere. He was on an incredible 6-fight win streak before a few bumps in the road. But let's look at who he beat and who he lost to recently. He beat Mirsad Bektic, who's incredible. He beat Edson Barbosa, who's incredible. He knocked out Gavin Tucker with one punch, and he lost to Calvin Kattar, who we know is a killer, and then he just lost to Korean Zombie. So Dan Ige, kind of a killer. Even though Josh is a wrestler at heart, he only has 2 takedowns in his last 7 fights. This is a wrestler, a lifelong wrestler. His last 7 professional fights, he only has 2 takedowns. If I thought he was going to wrestle like he did against Scott Holtzman, he took that dude down 7 times, then I think it would be worth every bit of this line. Minus 220 favorite. I know he's going to wrestle 100%. I'm not even going to think about it. But we don't know if he's going to wrestle. And you can't count on that because statistically, or at least recently, or the totality of their UFC career, Dan Ige is actually the better wrestler. But wrestling aside, I think Dan is a far better striker, but Josh definitely has more power. Dan has better jiu-jitsu, but Josh has the better wrestling and positioning. I think Dan will win the striking exchanges, and Josh may end up shooting takedowns that he probably shouldn't, which could have him in some trouble. I like Dan here. I am picking him to win. He's a good-sized underdog. I like Dan Ige to win. My only concern is if Dan is getting the better of the striking exchanges and then Josh starts to wrestle. That could be a problem because then, if he's smart enough to screw this, I'm wrestling. Then he, honestly shouldn't have too hard of a time keeping Dan down and riding out a decision. But Dan touches him up, starts winning those exchanges, and then Josh starts taking shots he shouldn't take. Well, now all of a sudden, we've got a crafty BJJ guy with solid striking and then a wrestler taking bad shots. So I do like Dan Ige to win. The lines haven't dropped yet for this, but honestly, I think the bet to make, instead of just straight money line on Dan Ige, is probably plus 3.5. And if you don't know what that is, you're basically buying one round on the judge's scorecard. So all Dan needs to do is win one round on his own. You buy a second round, and now it's 2 rounds to 1, and your bet gets paid. So even if he loses a 29-28 unanimous decision, you get paid because you bought a round. So I love that. You're only going to get that at WeWantPicks.com/bets. We have 5 betting partners. BetOnline is the one that offers that, plus 3.5. Make a deposit. Let me know. I'll send you $50 as a thank you. So I do like that bet. That line hasn't dropped yet, but as soon as it does, I'll take a look. Sometimes you can get, he's plus 180. You might be able to get that at plus 120, or sometimes the odds makers, they know exactly what they're doing, and it'll be big minus money. But we'll take a look. If I had any real balls, I would just do full money line on Dan Ige, and maybe I'll do a half a unit later in the week if I toughen up a bit. But after last week, a little scared with some of those big time upsets. But DraftKings, for sure, I like Dan Ige at $7,400 for sure. Monkey Knife Fight, probably more and more. I think Dan Ige just touches up Josh Emmett. Josh has got good volume, but I think Dan Ige is going to have better volume, touch him up, be a step ahead of him. If anything, it's less more, but I do think Dan Ige is busy and gets something done here, and that's at WeOnPicks.com/MKF. If you want to learn and try out Monkey Knife Fight, ton of fun, super easy, WeOnPicks.com/MKF. Hey, before you go, don't forget we have a Discord server We have a full Discord for all of you, and it is 100% free. I see you guys in the comment section all the time, going back and forth, giving your opinions, giving your picks, giving your plays, arguing. Do that on the Discord server. Take that there, full conversations. All of the information is there. It is 100% free. The link is in the description. And I would be letting myself down if I didn't remind you to go to weonpicks.com/bets. We have 5 betting partners. 5. They all have pros and cons. BetOnline's got the best props. BetUS has the best parlays and the best customer service. Bovada and MyBookie let you cash out. So if you're 3 legs into a 4-leg parlay, you can cash out and take your money before risking it with that 4th fight. Any one of them is a good pick. Books aren't loyal to you. You don't need to be loyal to them. Make a deposit. Let me know. I'll send you $50. You do all 5, I'm sending you $250. And don't forget to go to weonpicks.com/MKF. Monkey Knife Fight is fun. It is legal. It is easy. And it is daily fantasy. You make a deposit. They match it. You play some strike lines. It's super fun. If you lose, who cares? Just play the free deposit match money. You lose that. It's not yours. It doesn't matter. I'll see you guys on Saturday for all the things.